So I'm really excited about the WeVideo collaboration feature, and I thought I would demo that with our caroling project here at VermontFest 2020. So as you can see, I have two windows open. On the left-hand side, I am logged into my Ignite at VitalLearn account. On the right-hand side, you'll see right here where it says an S, I'm logged in as student 3. Student 3 is going to collaborate with Ignite. We've got a project started, and it's called a caroling project. I have it open in both windows, and actually I have a video started called a caroling project. If I rename the video here, and I can call it a caroling, we will go, hit OK, and you'll notice it is renamed here under the left side and under the right side. So it's renamed under both. Great. Let's take a look at my media under both accounts. Will probably look very different, but because I have project media in here, you will notice on the right hand side I have recording clips from everybody who submitted recordings, and I added those to the project media. So we should see the same thing in our left account. Let me close out my media. Let me open project media, and there you go. You'll see the same recording clips in both projects. So let's start by dragging the audio to video sound down into a video track. It's on the left hand side and the right hand side. Happens at the same time, and let's play this. This should be a blank video track with just audio.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So this is our foundational track, our track that contains the orchestra. So what I'm going to do is rename this track. Or actually I just need to name it first. And I'm going to call it Orchestra. So notice on the left-hand side, the right-hand side, we both have orchestra happening. Yay. I would love to see the sound waves of this track. And the way that you do that is to click on the little sound icon here. Now, interestingly enough, that does not take control of my right-hand account, my student account. So if I want to see the orchestra track here, I need to select it and then click on the audio icon here. Perfect. Now the pointers or the sliders are going to be in different places. They're not synchronized. So if I make a change here, it will occur to this timeline, but and if I make a change here, it only happens on this timeline as far as the slider goes, but the change occurs on both. Let's go back to the beginning and let's try to play that again. Notice the sound track is pretty low.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now here's my clap. This clap is really important in this project, but I can't really distinguish it here. So I'm going to zoom in. Here it is at the bottom. I'm going to zoom in quite a bit more here. As much as I can, actually.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think I want to zoom in even more so I can really tell where the clap is. So right in here is where that clap is. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go down to, I'm going to bring in my very first singer. And let's bring in Mary as a soprano. I'm going to lay her right here on this track. And I'm going to call it Soprano Mary. Now let's see, we want to put her clap about the same place that we had the other clap. Whoa, that was great timing, Adam. How'd you like to practice WeVideo's collaboration features with me? I'm just taking a tour right now. I'll log off as student 3 and let you log in as student 3, and we can take it from where I left off.
Now, would you like me to do something so you can see if you can see it?
Why don't you go through the process of aligning Mary? And I'm actually recording my screen, so I'll have this as a recording.
I'm going to find. When I'm playing this back, is it playing back for you?
No, that's interesting. That's it.
Okay. I don't think it should.
No, it should not. But like if I turn on the sound on mine, the sound waves, you don't get it on yours. It's like you get your own interface.
Right. So it's like, I guess there are certain tangible changes, like edit, that will be reflected when I do that.
Right. Like if you cut off the lead on her, so it just starts with.
Actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put a marker on her track. I'm going to try doing that. Which I don't even know how to do.
When you take the slider, there's the little scissors. The one on the left is the marker. There's a little thing that looks like a drop.
Yeah, add marker. Mary clap, link marker to clip, and then there's a drop down. You choose the clip.
Yeah, I see your marker. Perfect. I see your marker now.
Great. So now I line that marker up with my other marker. So I have to cut off some of the beginning first.
Right. That'll be fun to watch.
What's there? Is it like moving around as I
Yep.
do this to you?
Yep. And I'm actually not that zoomed in. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. So you think it sounds good?
I haven't listened yet. I'm just lining this up like clap-wise. I haven't listened to the singing. Okay. Clap seems lined up. Let's see what the singing is like. Yeah, it's lined up.
All right. I'm going to play it. And from here, since I'm recording my screen, let's see what it sounds like from my end. I'm playing it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Great. So we have Mary. And so I'm going to go and click on Project Media. I'm going to add a video track. And Zack. I'm going to add Zack next, since he was in the workshop.
Oh, I heard you're going to be able to crop clips soon. Was that part of this next release too?
Yeah. So I don't know if that's there now, cropping clips, but that's what we were asking for, right? Okay, I'm gonna drag Zack in. And I'm gonna turn on the sound wave. And
oh, whoa.
What?
As I was trying to edit Mary's clip, it turned into Zack.
On the same thing? Maybe on your.
I was in the transform area, like where you go to like.
Yeah.
And I was about to like try crapping her and then it became Zack.
Okay, well, I have Zack there now. I didn't actually... Did he say
Here,
he...
do this just as an experiment. Double click on Mary.
I got Zack in there. That's really weird.
You got Zack in where?
When I double clicked on Mary, Zack is in... Oh, because he's on top. That's right, because he's just... Oh, he's on the layer, the top layer.
Oh, yeah, but you shouldn't see him when you go into this view. You should only see the clip that you're trying to edit. Right?
But if...
Or no, maybe not.
No.
Right, I'm making Mary... Can you see this box moving around?
I don't see your interface, no. So...
Go to the editing Mary. Like, double click on Mary.
Okay.
Now I can see that you're in here. You see this box moving?
I do not.
Basically, I'm sliding the scale.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
Okay, so it's probably something until I save changes. Alright, no, you're right. Because Zack's on top and covering up, you can't see Mary. So I'm going to save changes, make Zack smaller.
Oh, I see your box moving around.
So now Zack's smaller. Hit screen, hit brain. Oh, I see. Yeah, none of this is the cropping.
Now you're playing with Tim, and I got out of it. I don't think we both can be in the transform thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that any of this is a good idea. It seems impossible this could ever work.
There is a grid. I think the grid is once you're in it. Okay, great. I can see that you've lined them both up.
I did not line Zack. Oh, you mean just visually?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, do you want to try to line up Zack audio-wise, and then I can tweak it after?
That would be great, because you have a better ear for music than I do. And...
Why don't you really give it your best shot first?
Okay. Whoops. I want to find his clap. Oops. Okay. Tiny bit over here.
Just so you know, I can kind of see where your cursor is a little bit. Like, I see this little icon on Zack's, on the bottom left of Zack's clip, because you're messing with it.
Uh-huh.
Like here, if I click on Mary, do you see my little icon on the bottom
Oh,
left
yeah.
of Mary?
Yeah.
Sort of see where people are at.
And
This is nuts. This is completely nuts.
in what way?
Just I mean, this is I feel like it's nuts when we're in Google Docs. This is happening with text. The fact that this is happening, trimming and moving audio, video footage is absolutely just bananas. Yeah, in our tutorial, I think the first thing we say is trim off the excess, at the beginning, and then find the clap. That's for that exact reason. Eventually, you get over too far, you can't do what you want.
Okay, so lining things up just by the marker right now, and I'm going to play it and see if it sounds okay, but I got all right. If they clapped at exactly the same time, I think I'm off a tiny bit. Let me zoom in a little now that I've got the markers better. I wish the markers were easier to figure out who's who. I got clap. I got Zack's. Oops, I'm moving the marker, not him. Yeah, the markers aren't as helpful as I would like them to be. Okay.
Probably more helpful, in the way that intended to be used, which is mark a section and label it something. So if you go, where's that part? Or do you want to label it the third song of this? You can easily reference, where's Jingle Bells start? You put a marker there.
All right.
That's probably what markers are for.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to unsolo it, and I'm going to try it now and see what it sounds like. Whoops. Oh, here's mine.
3, 4, 4.
I don't think I'm right on.
Yeah, so zoom out to like a medium level, and then like I think you're pretty much right where you'd want to be for this first move using the clap.
Yep.
That's fine. And then you should go over to like where they start singing, and you can see right away that his first like waveform of singing is before hers. Nope, you're moving the wrong one.
Oh, undo. Is there an undo here?
You just did it.
I did it? Okay. So I actually just want to go where they were singing. Let's go back. All right. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Like, but the parts, the parts aren't always singing at the same same time.
Not always, but at the beginning of this one, they all are. And like, basically at the beginning of all of them, they all are.
I think I did it. Can you try it and see if I did it good enough?
Yeah, this sounds good. So just to draw your ear to something, you might notice that the very first word sort of sounds out of sync. But literally the deck, you hear him and then her, right? A split second. Deck, you hear his d before hers.
Okay.
But then, once you're like in the phrase, like basically once like they've gotten going, they are like super lined up. Which there's nothing more you can do to line them up, but it's just an example of like any given instantaneous moment could maybe be off. Like you can't obviously not every little bump along the waveform will necessarily line up because people are sometimes early and late, like when they come in, but then they adjust themselves like to the track. They can't sing early the entire time. That would require like such an insane level of unawareness that like even children aren't able to do it. So just if you're like listening, or like if I was listening and I literally stopped the playhead after the word deck, I would think, oh, he's still early, I got to move him over. But if you let it play for another couple of measures, you hear they're right on when they get to like blah 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 blah, like perfectly lined up.
Perfect. Okay.
I just want you to like to listen to that and hear the two decks so that you can kind of
right now. Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
And you can hear it, right?
Yep.
And so it sounds like, oh, he's early, but then once they get past the first three words, it's just like he probably really like she was late. That's probably what happened. Like people tend to be a little hesitant on their first entrance. So nothing you can do in this software to make that any better, but just to show you like you can't necessarily like pick just a moment and line it up perfectly. It doesn't mean the rest of it will be lined up. You sort of have to get it close and then listen with a little bit more of a zoomed out kind of headspace.
Great. All right, so
and what I do when I'm lining up virtual choirs is I pick moments that I know are going to be successful for like almost all the singers. Like the very first word is usually like a bad place to base too much off of because, like I said, people are scared before they come in or whatever. But if it's just like you're halfway through like the main part of the song that everyone knows the best, you know, if they're singing like jingle bells, and you're on like that third version of jingle bells, it's like that's probably where everyone's going to be as on as they ever will be. Like, you know, like the part that, you know, you would be singing along and you would be, timing wise, you would be right on the money. And so like picking a spot that's musically that's a little bit more like bound to be successful than like the very first note in a technology experiment.
Got it. That audio production, major or minor, paid off, right?
More like choir director focus. So it's like, where's the choir, like, where do they not need your help? It's like, once they've gotten going, they all want you to plan them right when you're supposed to start. So if they don't have that, once the thing gets going, then they find their way in, and then then they're on track for a while.
Perfect. I'm going to bring in a...
These two sound good.
What'd you say?
These two sound good together. This will be good for your thing.
So I'm going to bring in A. Skangas alto. I think she's the only... Oh, I got both Frankie and Alexis. But I'm going to bring in Alexis. Alexis is a music teacher. So I'll bring her in next, plus video. All right. I'm bringing her in.
This is so cool. I'm like so proud that we made something that you can use.
Okay, so I see her clap. Oops, I forgot to put her sound in. So I'm going to go get rid of some of the beginning to make it easier.
You know how to just trim it, so you don't have to do that, right?
To cut it and then delete it.
Here, do undo.
Okay.
If you just put your cursor on the left handle of it, you can just like click and drag the beginning of the clip to wherever you want.
Okay, I didn't know that did that.
I think you just moved it instead of. So basically, when the main mouse arrow turns into two arrows facing left and right.
That's what I think I'm doing. It may look like moving to you, but...
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, really close. Like, if I were you or any like sort of normal music teacher, I'd probably be like, yep, she's on. So like, I can tell she's like 50th of a second late. But for all intents and purposes, it's perfectly good.
All right. So we have an alto. We have soprano bass. What do we now have?
Tenor.
Oh, we only have one tenor. And that's Jill, right? So I'm going to let you add Jill. While you add her, I think I can go fix Alexis's scale, which would be cool.
Let's see what happens. I don't know who Jill is.
It says tenor in the media on her.
What is that?
Or does it? Let me get it out. It says Jill Tenor Landscape on the project media.
In the My Media area.
No, look under project media. I moved all the clips to the project media. So
Gotcha. Okay.
So while you're working on that piece, I'm going to go in to get some more holiday little clip art stuff to put in. I'm going to change that to images.
If you want a little pro mixing tip.
Sure.
So one thing you were not doing. Hold on. But one thing you were not doing as you brought these in was adjusting their audio volume.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which, similarly to the video adjustments, can be kind of hard once everybody's in. Then you like can't tell what's bothering you. You're like, I don't know, it just doesn't sound that good. But I don't know if one person's just too loud or if another person's just too quiet or whatever. So it can be good to pay mind to that as you go. But if you have more people in here and now you're trying to mix it, I would pick a section like, I'm going to go to like 1 minute and 10 seconds where Jingle Bells starts. And they're all singing like the same thing at the same time.
Okay.
and I'm going to turn everybody down except for Mary. I'm just going to listen to see like what volume she's at compared to the orchestra.
So do you turn them down, or you just play a solo track right now?
I turned them down because I want to turn them up one at a time.
Okay.
So I just turned their volume sliders down, which probably did that for you too, right?
Let me just see. I'm 1 minute and 10 seconds. You said, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going down there. Okay, so.
But wherever you are, like just along the left.
Oh
side.
yeah, it did do that. Yes, it turned the
So
sliders
now,
down. Yeah.
Well, before I do anything else, just listen to like up to like Dashing Through the Snow, Bells on whatever, Bells in the Snow, bum 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 bum, just that much, just so you can hear Mary with the orchestra.
Add 1 minute and 10 seconds about.
Yeah.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha.
Okay.
Okay. So like you get a sort of sense of what her volume is like.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm going to bring Ben up to just like visually what looks like the same level as Mary, which is just about, not Ben, Zack, 100%. I'm going to listen to, from the same spot, listen to the two of them together. And you're just like listening, like, can you hear them both pretty much equally?
You want me to try it, or you're going to do it first?
I turned him up to 100%, but now that I've done that, I want you to listen to it.
All right.
Tell me if it feels like they're equal.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we
I think he sounds really low.
Yes. So now you're going to take his slider and put it up to like, I don't know, 150% or something like that.
All right, let me move it up. 157, it went automatically. Let me try that.
sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha.
I think that sounds better. Again, I don't have a good sense of how loud he should be, but I can hear him
Think
better.
of them as trying to be equal partners right now.
I might go a little higher.
Yeah. Keep going then.
But that went to 200. I'm gonna let's see what that looks like.
Laughing all the way. Ha ha ha. Bells on bobtails ring.
I like that. Do you want to try it and see what you think?
Cool. How'd you do?
I said I like that. Do you want to try it and see what you think?
Yeah, I've been listening. I think it's pretty good. I probably would make him even a little higher, and as something that I do all the time when I'm mixing, is I often will bring something too far, because then you sort of know when you've actually gone too far, and then bring it back from there. You obviously don't think yet that he's too loud. You're like, yeah, I think that's loud enough, is probably what you're telling yourself. So sometimes it can be helpful to make it like, oh yeah, that's too loud for him. Let's bring him back from there, and then you have a better sense of like, what's too quiet, what's too loud, where do you actually want him, rather than like with each adjustment deciding like if you've done enough.
Why don't you put him where you think he should go, and then we'll see how close I was.
Okay. Okay. I like him there at 283%.
All right, I'm going to listen.
Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to...
That sounds good.
Cool. And we're only checking one part of the song. Maybe we do that and we get back to the earlier part, and we are like, oh, he's way too loud at the beginning now. And then we decide to split the difference for the sake of compromise or something. So now it gets a little bit harder because people start to blend in with each other, but bring Alexis up to, I don't know, probably like around 100% to start and see how it feels. And you can already tell just by looking that like Alexis is louder than Zack. Like you can see how her waveform is just more robust. So I think it's probably fair to say she won't need to be at 283%.
Okay.
And that can actually be like a time-saving, like, visual, like, to be like, yeah, those, I mean, it's not that much information, but it's like, yeah, that guy's quieter, so these other people probably say 100 and he'll be above that. So
Yeah, and her wave sounds right now are a little bit bigger than Mary's. I mean, more pronounced, but.
Right, so maybe you can even put it down to like 90% and see how that feels.
All right, let's try
Making
that.
spirits bright, what fun it is to ride and sing those sleigh songs tonight. Oh.
I'm gonna leave her at 100.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun!
So that part of the song you're on now
Yeah.
will actually be easier to check because they're not singing the exact same melody, so you can actually hear the difference between Mary and Alexis easier. When they get to Jingle Bells, like Mary singing the top part, jingle bells, jingle all the way, and Alexis is singing this alto part, this harmony. Anyway, it doesn't matter if you know which part they're singing, but when they're not singing the same exact thing, it's easier to tell who's louder because their voices don't blend into one as much.
Got it.
So instead of checking it from 110, check it from like 128 or 129. You can hear Alexis and hear Mary and then adjust them accordingly.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride and watch a
What do you think?
I think Alexis is too loud.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because Mary has the melody also, which you have to remember. But like when I get to the jingle bells, jingle all the way, that's not the main part. Jingle bells, jingle all the way, that's the main part. And Alexis seems like she's overpowering Mary.
All right. I took her down a little bit. Let's see.
all the way. Oh, what fun!
Still a little too loud?
Yeah. Try down at like 70 or something.
That's exactly what I just switched it to.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride.
That's kind of like 70. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Right. So,
I mean, this is fine tuning. If they were all at 100, you'd probably be fine. You might think like Zack should be louder, and that would be enough of an adjustment. But this is like actually mixing it.
I like it.
Yeah, sounds like music.
Thanks for the tip. I am